Greetings, wanderers of the unknown, and welcome back to Whispering Tales. Each night, we explore stories that blur the line between reality and mystery. Tonight's tale is no different. It will take you deeper into the secrets of sleep and what lies beyond it. I wish you a good listening experience. Let this journey stay with you long after the video ends. What really happens to you while you sleep? Your body rests, but your consciousness keeps traveling, and your mind stays fully active. Where does it go? Very few people know the answer. Yet for centuries, spiritual traditions and even modern science have tried to shed light on this mystery. What I'm about to reveal may change how you see sleep, and even the very nature of consciousness, forever. If you've ever had a dream so real it felt like another life, share it in the comments. Because such experiences may be more than just dreams. They can reveal hidden truths about who we are, and what happens when the mind escapes the body. Ancient beliefs about sleep. From the beginning of civilization, people suspected sleep was more than rest. In ancient Egypt, dreams were seen as messages from the gods. In Greece, philosophers like Plato believed the soul accessed higher realities during rest. Across cultures, the night was a gateway, a time when the spirit could step outside the body and journey into other realms. Today, science tells us sleep is vital for memory, learning, and brain repair. Yet during certain stages, something deeper happens. The brain's activity mirrors states found in deep meditation, and even near-death experiences. But here's the question. If consciousness is just a product of the brain, why do people report encounters, visions, or even journeys beyond their physical body while they sleep? Are they illusions, or glimpses of a larger truth? The journey of consciousness. Every night, while your body lies still, your brain waves shift. The physical senses fade away, but consciousness doesn't turn off. It becomes active on levels science struggles to explain. The most vivid dreams occur in REM sleep, when the brain is highly active. But researchers like Robert Monroe and Charles Tart suggest that in this state, something extraordinary can happen. Consciousness can detach from the physical body. This is known as astral projection, or out-of-body experience. Why don't most people notice? Because we've been conditioned to believe only in what can be measured or touched. Yet those who've experienced it describe an indescribable freedom, a sense of traveling beyond space and time, sometimes even visiting real locations they've never seen before. Evidence and testimonies. Robert Monroe, one of the pioneers of this research, documented countless journeys outside the body. He described exploring dimensions where time works differently, and even meeting spiritual guides. His books detail accurate perceptions of events far away from his physical body, accounts that defy logic. There are also documented cases of ordinary people who, during sleep, described places or events later confirmed as real. Could this mean our consciousness isn't locked inside the brain at all, but part of something much bigger? The power of intention. One fascinating detail. Where your consciousness travels during sleep may depend on your emotional and mental state. If you fall asleep filled with fear or stress, you may enter denser levels of the dream experience, chaotic, heavy, even nightmarish realms. But if you go to sleep with clarity, calm, and a clear intention, you might access luminous realities and receive profound teachings. Try this tonight. Before closing your eyes, set a clear intention. Whisper to yourself, I want to remember what my consciousness experiences tonight. This simple practice can unlock doors to astonishing discoveries about your true nature. Hypnagogic secrets. Few people know this, but the moments before sleep, the hypnagogic state, are a powerful gateway. The brain hovers between wakefulness and dreaming, and in this state it becomes highly receptive. Great geniuses like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla used this moment to spark ideas. They would fall asleep with a question, and often wake up with the answer. You can do the same. Before sleep, plant a suggestion in your mind. I want to wake up refreshed and full of energy. Help me find a creative solution to my problem. Allow me to remember my dreams clearly. The subconscious mind works all night long, and many times the answer comes in the form of a symbolic dream, a sudden morning insight, or a burst of clarity. Shared dreams and collective mind. Here's something even more mysterious. Reports of shared dreams. Two people, in the same night, dreaming the same scenario, and describing identical details upon waking. How is this possible? Carl Jung proposed the idea of a collective unconscious, a vast reservoir of symbols and archetypes shared by humanity. Quantum physics suggests something similar, that everything in the universe is interconnected. When we sleep, our minds may tune into this larger field, where boundaries between individual consciousness dissolve. This could explain why people across cultures report similar dream motifs, and why some claim to have met loved ones, friends, or even strangers. Nightmares and hidden lessons. Not every dream is pleasant. Nightmares can feel terrifying, yet they often carry deeper meaning. Psychology sees them as the brain processing trauma or stress, but spiritual traditions suggest something more. Nightmares may be journeys into denser dimensions of the astral plane. In these darker realms, fear and guilt take shape as monsters, shadows, or chaotic landscapes. They mirror our unresolved emotions. But here lies the key. If you become aware that it's only a dream, you can face the nightmare, and even transform it. Some spiritual schools teach that recurring nightmares are not punishments, but teachers. The monster you run from may represent a hidden part of yourself, asking to be understood and integrated. Sleep paralysis, portal or prison. One of the most frightening experiences at night is sleep paralysis. You wake up unable to move, feeling a heavy weight on your chest. Some report dark figures standing in the room. Science explains it as the brain waking before the body, leaving muscles temporarily paralyzed. But spiritual traditions see it differently. A sudden return from an astral journey, where your consciousness briefly perceives other dimensions. If this happens to you, remember, fear makes it worse. Breathe calmly, move your fingers slowly, and know it will pass. In fact, many explorers of consciousness use this state as a launchpad into astral projection, turning terror into transcendence. The astral planes. According to esoteric traditions, the astral is an intermediate dimension, a world shaped not by physical laws, but by thought and emotion. Here, your vibration determines your experience. Researchers and mystics describe three main levels. Lower astral, heavy, chaotic, full of fear-based visions. Middle astral, the realm of ordinary dreams, projections of the subconscious. Higher astral, radiant dimensions where souls meet guides, receive teachings, and experience profound clarity. What determines which level you reach? Your emotional state before sleep. This is why preparing for rest, with meditation, prayer, or simple calm, can change everything. Encounters beyond the body. Many people report meeting deceased loved ones in dreams. Experiences so vivid they feel more real than waking life. Messages are sometimes received. Words of comfort, unknown details, even guidance that later proves true. Are these just products of the grieving mind? Or are they genuine encounters, made possible when consciousness steps outside the body? Others describe visiting schools of light, where beings of wisdom teach lessons of compassion and universal law. Some wake with knowledge they had never studied before, later discovering the same ideas in ancient texts. If our consciousness can detach during sleep, then these encounters may be more than imagination. They may be real connections in a reality beyond the physical. Why we forget our dreams. If dreams are so important, why do we forget them? Neuroscience explains that upon waking, the rational mind quickly discards dream memories as irrelevant. But with practice, you can train dream recall. Keep a journal by your bed and write as soon as you wake up. Stay still in the first seconds after waking. Images return more easily. Limit screens before bed. Overstimulation blocks recall. Like a muscle, memory of dreams strengthens with use. Over time, patterns and messages begin to reveal themselves. Dangers and challenges. Exploring dreams isn't always safe. Excessive activity in the dream world can leave you feeling drained, as if you lived another life overnight. Unknown entities may appear, some friendly, others disturbing. Experts suggest these beings are either projections of the psyche, or consciousnesses from subtle dimensions. The golden rule: do not feed fear. Fear strengthens lower encounters. Instead, surround yourself with light before sleep, mentally or through ritual. Remember, you are not powerless. Intention shapes the experience. Sleep as a spiritual tool. Sleep is not just rest, it is a gateway. A laboratory of the unconscious. A mirror of your inner state. A school where you can learn from guides, archetypes, and even the future. Through practices like lucid dreaming, meditation before bed, and dream journaling, you can turn sleep into a time of discovery rather than confusion. Even nightmares can be transformed into lessons. Sleep paralysis can become a portal. Precognitive dreams can serve as guidance. Everything depends on awareness. Closing reflection. The truth is simple. You are never just asleep. While your body rests, your consciousness may travel across realms, explore the astral, or glimpse fragments of eternity. And your experiences depend on the state of your mind and heart before you close your eyes. So tonight, before sleep, ask yourself, where will my consciousness go? And when you wake, write it down, because your dream might not just be a... As you've heard, sleep is never just rest. It may be the gateway to other realms. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a dream so vivid it felt more real than life itself? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might help someone else understand their own. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to Whispering Tales and join us for more stories that uncover what hides in the dark.